Castleford, obviously, Thursday night game at Castleford. You won there handsomely last season. Does that make it tougher, easier, or has it no effect whatsoever?
Oh, it has no effect whatsoever, but it just shows you that if we've got the right attitude, we can go there and win. So, obviously, a really difficult place to travel to and play to. We've addressed the variables that we can and can't control and how to be focused with that. We had a really good win here last weekend, and we want to try and build off the back of that with the confidence and belief from that game.
Castleford, is that one of the games at home that got away from you, would you
Yeah,
say?
yeah, definitely. It was one of those ones where we probably got 3 or 4 tries disallowed after we led by 18 points, and then before we knew it, it was they were scoring in the corner to kick the goal from the sideline to bring it into to take it into extra points. So, and then in extra point, I think we missed 4 field goals. So it was the one that got away, but we got 1 point out of it. So we respect them as a club and as a team. When they're on, they can cause some upsets, and they're a good rugby side. So, it's going to be a difficult job for us to go there and get the job done, but a great test as well.
Well, yeah, they're a side who seem to be in form at the moment, like yourselves, so it should be a great game.
Yeah, let's hope so. I think, going there on a smaller pitch with a big crowd behind them, we've just got to make sure that we're focused on our preparation and focused on the process. It's going to be a real difficult encounter for us, and I think we're in a really good place, so I'm looking forward to it.
You said it was a smaller pitch. You like an expansive style. Do you have to change your style of play to play there?
Yeah, there's a slightly different game plan that we'll take there. We've still got some quality players ourselves. 1 or 2 are out this week, obviously, but I think I'm sure with the confidence that we've got, we can go there and play that 80-minute performance that we need. It's in such a crucial part of the season.
Well, you mentioned 1 or 2 out this week. Have you got injuries then from last week's great performance against St Helens? And if so, who are they?
I think Gaz O'Brien, obviously with being knocked out and having the HIA failed, he won't play for a couple of games now. He's had a few ones with that as an issue. There's some doubt over Matty Moylan with a rib, and so we just got to manage through that time.
You've got Briley Hodgson available. Is he liable to feature?
Well, he's been named in the 21. He arrived to training 2 days ago, so he's had 2 sessions with us now. So, like I said, we'll give him every opportunity to be right for that game and hopefully unleash him there. I think he's played some rugby there with his juniors and one of his Super League games, I believe. So, it'd be a nice little twist to the story, but we'll wait and see.
Well, what will he bring to the side then?
Well, he's got serious speed and serious footwork. He's pretty quick along the ground, and he's got that ability that X factor part about him. So we need to probably see a little bit more of him at training in the sense of his reps with the group, and he's probably still a bit jet lagged as well. So we're just looking forward to him coming to the squad and building that squad with that youth and that speed and X factor.
Over the weeks, you've mentioned there are other potential signings in the pipeline. Are you able to reveal any of those at this moment in time?
Yeah, there's nothing at the moment. In due course, I'm sure things will change, but if that does, the club will release those statements when they need to.
Finally, Edwin and Pappy, before last week's game, you said that he'd had a week off and you'd had a chat with him. Did you feel he responded to your arm around his shoulder, should I say?
Oh, good tip.
From the Saints game.
Good tip on that, Trev, from last week, doing your homework. Yeah, he was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Back to himself. And we all know Edwin Opape through his running out of dummy half and his skill and speed, but one of his greatest assets, probably his best, is his front foot defence and contact. And I think potentially the best hitter in Super League. So I saw that probably 6 or 7 times last week, which is exactly what we need from him. He's been a little bit reckless in the sense of falling off on those occasions. So the conversation with him, I think, has worked, and I'm looking forward to seeing that next step that he can take up this week to back up last week.
You've got Wigan next Tuesday. I did say this last question. You've got Wigan next Tuesday, and then a game after that. It's a tough time for you at the moment. Are you having to manage your squad to get through the next 3 games?
Yeah, very much so. It's difficult at times, and sometimes you've just got to deal with the hand that's in front of you, and we've had to do that all season, So this game, the Saints game, the Wigan game, they're all really, really important to us because it could be crucial to the outcome. So, I think, like I said, I think the players' attitude and mindset's in a really good place. We've just got to go there and match that 80 minutes now on Thursday night.
Cheers, thanks, Adrian.
Hi, are you okay?
Ben, good yourself?
Yeah, good, pal, thank you.
Good.
Over the last sort of couple of years, we've spoke a lot about fixture scheduling. It's obviously round 20 this weekend, and you've still got to go to the jungle twice. How much does that sort of scheduling impact on your plans, what you do throughout the season?
Yeah, it's obviously it's not ideal for any club to do that, but it is what it is. We can't really complain about it. All we can deal with is just making sure that we prepare the best case scenario. We're a team at the moment that's fighting for our lives. We've been on the canvas, backs to the floor. So I think we've crawled up onto one knee at the moment. We've just got to make sure that we hold our standards high in these next 3 or 4 games and get back to where we need to be. You want to hope as well that 4, 5 and 6 probably at this point in the ladder slip up at some stage. I think the top 3 are probably too far gone now, but there's no reason why there can't be a drop in form to any of the 4, 5 and 6 in the ladder. So all we can do is control our 80 minutes every week in our performance, and if we keep winning, then we can apply some pressure to those teams at the bottom of the 6.
But the sort of scheduling obviously does have an impact, doesn't it? Because you're now playing Cast twice while they're on a resurgence, where if you faced at the start of the season when they weren't in this sort of...
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, you can say that at any stage during the year. We've round 2 for us, we didn't play anyone. This is what we're making up at the moment. We had to delay the game against Wigan, but it's been delayed to round 20. I think there's a little bit of silliness about that. I can't see why we just couldn't play it in the international week when both teams could have played and not be under the pump. But we go 6 days into 5 days into 5 days, and that puts pressure on any club, regardless of how good you are or poor you are. So, we've had to manage that, and we're okay with that. It's what's in front of us, so we've got to deal with it. But I'm sure there's a better way around it in the future.
On to the Cast game then. Obviously, we mentioned Bailey coming in. How much does the utility of a player like that matter? Obviously, we've seen you bring in Darnell McIntosh already this season, along the back line. Yeah,
just on Darnell first, I think just his patience. He hadn't been picked for 6 or 7 weeks or so, but he understood his situation, and Bailey's probably in a similar situation. So Darnell's taken that opportunity with both open arms, and he was outstanding the last couple of weeks, and has brought an injection to the team, as in just energy and speed and youth. So that's made us single-handedly better. So we're excited about that. But I think Bailey Hodgson's got the same potential, and whether it's next week, the week after, in 4 or 6 weeks, or early next year, I'm sure he can have an influence on our side as well. I haven't seen much of him at training. Obviously, only turning up. We've had a short week this week, so it's been really difficult to pick the team. We had to pick it early, and therefore, pick and stick with that for this week and probably next week as well. So we haven't seen too much of him training with the players, but I'm sure that'll evolve over the next couple of weeks.
But obviously, you mentioned Darnell coming in and making an impact. How much is that testament to him being sort of brought into the squad and flourishing despite not playing straight away?
Well, I think just us identifying his talent is a plus first. I don't know how he wasn't picked every week there at Hull, but to come here and to do what he's doing at the moment, it looks like he's been here for years. So I'm really excited with him, just to get a pre-season under his belt, under our coaching staff here, and where we can take him to the next level. I think he can certainly be a real star for the 25 season. I know we've got this season to sort out and to be a star in this season as well, but just time in this system for him, I think, will take him to another level. So we're excited about that.
And just lastly, I think tomorrow there'll be 4 PNG internationals playing, as well as obviously Liam Horn suspended. But how much pride does that give you as a come up, basically? Yeah,
and me as coach. So there was 6 in total, but Horn's obviously suspended. But that's amazing. I mean, to say that was a possibility 5 years ago would not have been heard. So, bringing the Edwin Apapes over and whatnot has certainly showed the rest of Super League that players from Papua New Guinea are as good as any in the world. And, I'd like to say we've played a part in making sure that, we get that exposure for the Papua New Guinea players, and to have all those players involved in the Super League game tomorrow is exceptional and exciting. It really is. It just shows where rugby league is in PNG and the development that they've had, and I think there's better times ahead for PNG as well. But I think Edwin was looking forward to playing his counterpart, the number 9 for Cass, but not to be. We'll have to wait until the next time we travel up there.
You've sort of answered my last question there, really, but how much pride does it give you the impact that Liam had in this sort of PNG resurgence? Yeah,
we also took Nene McDonald on early on as well, which put him in the Super League, Rugby League world as well. And Nene's going great guns now at Leeds and over at Salford now. So and I think there's 1,000 players there that could kill it over here too if a lot of the other Super League teams had a little bit better identification of who they are over there. And no doubt in the next 5-10 years the number will double and triple. So I'm just proud to be a part of that system in Papua New Guinea. That's always been my heart and my love with the country and the people there. So I'm just happy that it's progressing like it is.
Cheers, Arnie. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you, mate.
Hi, Adrian. It's Martin here.
Hey, Martin. Good to have you, mate. Welcome.
Yeah, and very interesting what you were just saying about PNG. I bet you're not too unhappy that Liam Horne's not playing, though, on Thursday night, Adrian.
I think if there was one player I could single-handedly take out of there for Thursday night, it'd probably be him. So
he's played really well for them this year, hasn't he? He's really come on well, in my view. I think he's been one of the outstanding success stories of Super League this year. Yeah,
without a doubt. But I think again, a player from PNG, albeit in the Q Cup, coming through the system over there. I think North's Devils has certainly been a success in Super League this year, and congratulations to him.
And just staying on PNG for a moment, obviously everybody's aware of the idea that PNG might have an NRL side. Maybe from 2028 it looks at the moment, but who knows? Mm-hmm. Would you be interested in, if down the track, when you've achieved everything at League, and somebody said, Adrian, how about a coaching job in PNG for this new NRL club? Would you be a potential contender?
Oh, you got me heart ticking over here, but I think, I think that excites me to be involved in some way down the track with PNG. Whether it's 28 or 30 or beyond. I think I could help out in some ways there, right across the board with it. But I think I'm really happy where I am here at the moment. I don't want to be anywhere else in the world, to be honest with you. I get on great with all the players. The fans are as good as fans base in Super League. I think our facilities here are unbelievable. I think the owners been great for us and how we've evolved as a club over the last couple of years with the Leopards change the name, and it's just buzzing around town. Like, to be a part of this place on Friday night last week against St Helens was something that I think everyone needs to experience, especially local people here. It gives the town something to look forward to every week, and to have that performance that we had here with the atmosphere. There's no better place at the moment, so I'm loving it here. But I think you've always got to look at where you think your future may lay, and if that is in PNG, that might be an option for us in future. But I think it's exciting times ahead either way.
Was that Lee's best performance last weekend since you've been here?
Probably. Yeah, probably. I think, we scored 8 tries and there were 7 different try scorers, so it just showed that we moved the ball quite a fair bit right across the team, and we weren't just one single threat. I think we defended really tough as well. And I think you need a bit of luck in those games too against Saints. They had Wellesby go down early. They've got a few injuries, and I've been on the other side of that too against St Helens. So it was nice to get a win here, but I think we earned it as well. I think it was a really tough game, and they did it tough once they had a few niggly injuries come into their side. So, but again, just a great atmosphere at the ground. I think the fans are still talking about the event. It's become an event to come to the game here. So, massive credits to Derek Beaumont and all the staff that are working really hard underneath him.
It's interesting what you were saying about young Darnell McIntosh a bit earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And, I've always enjoyed watching him because he's one of those guys who seems to play with a smile on his face to me. Yeah. And I always like that sort of player.
Yeah.
But he played a great role in that Kai O'Donnell try, which I think is a potential contender for try of the year.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that try. I thought, it was only 30 seconds earlier Darnell was saving a try up the other end, and helping out with that to be able to turn that around and go the full length really just before half time was certainly a massive part of the first 40 minutes. But Darnell's just brought a lot of energy to us. He's a player that sits there and listens really carefully. So I'm excited about his growth and where we can get him to over the next 12 months.
I was just talking to Craig Lingard a bit earlier at their press conference, and he made an interesting point. He said he thinks that you're very clearly a top six side, and if you can get into the top six by the end of the season, he thinks you've got a great chance of winning the competition, winning the grand final. Wow. But of course, you've got to get that. You've got to get there first. Yeah. And I mean, I was just looking at the table and sort of doing a quick calculation. And my calculation, I don't know whether you agree with this or whether you've done it yourself, but I think if you win 7 out of your remaining 9 games, you'll probably get there. You could get there with 6, but you might not do. So, the pressure's really on you, isn't it? And you've got to win this game. You've got Wigan. They've had a bit of a form slump, but you've had some bad luck this year in the way your season's unfolded. You played a few teams at the wrong time. Not least, for example, when you played Leeds at Headingley, when it was Rob Burrows' testimony, they played out of their skin. You couldn't have had much worse luck, to be honest. But I just wonder, I assume you share that view that you could win it if you can get there, but you're a bit like a racehorse coming into the final 2 furlongs where you're behind, and you've got to just overtake the rest of them on the run into the winning post.
Oh, I love your analogy there, Martin.
Well, it's a good one, but I just hope you can do it.
Yeah, I don't look at the ladder too much, mate, and see the teams, because it doesn't ever work out that way. Just so you know, I'm over. I've been down that path and seen all of that. And you're right. Mathematically we can make it, but what needs to happen is for us to play the way that we played against Saints. That needs to happen every week, really. So we need a bit of a kickstart. That was the third time all year that we've had our best team out in the pitch, so that hasn't happened too often for us. And then we've got to turn around and then head to Cass on a Thursday night on a short turnaround to try and match that up. So that's the challenge, But if we're fair dinkum as a team and we're serious, we want to be serious contenders, we have to go there and we have to win. It's as simple as that. And if we don't, we've only got ourselves to blame. So I feel that we understand the path or the journey that's ahead of us now, and I still believe in fate, and I still believe that if we're meant to be there, we'll get there. But what we can control, apart from looking at the ladder, is the way that we play in that 80-minute period. That's all that really matters: how we prepare, how we recover, and how we play again. So, like I said, I think we're in a really good place with that. It's going to be a massive game for us. I know that, and I know it's massive for them as well. I mean, they're not that far behind us on the ladder, and mathematically they probably need this is their season. So it's going to be an important one for them. They're difficult to play at home when the crowd get behind them. It becomes another burden. But I think and we appreciate the comments from the coach, and we feel very similar here. But like I said, it's a long way to go, but a lot of hard work still left.
You mentioned Matt Moylan got a bit of a rib problem potentially. Would you be tempted to sort of leave him out on Thursday in order to play him against Wigan next Tuesday?
I'd prefer him to play, but if it's going to be in a position for him to play and then it gets worse, then he misses Wigan, then it becomes a double nightmare for us. So he come off the field with it. I'm not sure if you noticed or the fans noticed, but he come off with the rib cartilage, and it's quite a painful injury. So the likelihood is probably 50-50 for now. We'll give him up until kick-off to be right, and if he's not, well, then we'll deal with that as well. We've dealt with this all season, so it's one that we'll hold on until kick-off.
And final point, mate, just looking ahead to the Wigan game, you've mentioned how great the support is at Lee, and obviously everybody's seen that. But it would be great to see a sellout at the away end on Tuesday night, because that's such a crucial game as well, and you're going to need all the help you can get. And if they can shout you home, that would be absolutely enormous.
I think the last time we played there about 4 or 5 weeks ago, I think they had 16,000 there, was it? Which is
16,500.
which is a big number. So that's a great atmosphere, as good as any in Super League as well. But I think to answer your questions, our fans have been awesome all year. They've been absolutely sensational, and we love them dearly. So I know they'll get there in big numbers and just lift that atmosphere again, because we'll need them every game of this season.
Okay, mate. Good luck for both
games. Thanks, man. Appreciate that.